Hello, you're welcome to the Citi Newsroom. We're coming to you live from our studios at number 5 Owulahanton Lane, Artisanal, here in the Greater Accra region. My name is Vivian Kai. Look what's coming up. Bank of Ghana denies exaggeration of new head office costs amid procurement allegations.
It is not just a simple, ordinary building. Let me re-emphasize that the bank followed all the necessary public procurement processes in this endeavor. No procurement laws were broken.
Ministry of Lands orders removal of Goro boys following UN corruption study.
We are taxing the Lands Commission to get rid of those Goro boys and the Goro people in the system. These Goro people, they cannot work in isolation.
Still on the Citi Newsroom, investigators turn to telecom data in alleged bullion van robbery case involving military officers and civilians.
File motion ex parte to the telcos, asking them to make some provisions or disclosures involving the telephone numbers of the accused persons.
Still to come, Chief of Staff Freeman Osei-Opare cleared to vote in NPP Special Delegates Congress amid eligibility debate.
Honorable Akosua Freeman Osei-Opare is a member of the National Executive Committee by the virtue of her being a representative of the patrons at the National Executive Committee.
And in CNR business. Bank of Ghana refused claims of currency printing for government financing in 2022.
But I know it's just mischief when people try to say they printed money. It's more sensational. And you journalists like that. You like things that are sensational, that the Bank of Ghana has printed. It's more news.
Thank you very much for making time to join us. Let's give you details of our stories. We'll start with the central bank because it has refuted allegations claiming that the cost of its new head office under construction in Ridge in the Greater Accra region has been exaggerated and that the institution disregarded public procurement regulations in awarding the contract. Now, these assertions come amid public and political scrutiny with concerns raised about the appropriateness of the project's timing, given the central bank's attempt to recover from a substantial 60 billion Ghana cedis loss resulting from the government's domestic debt exchange program. Now, the bank, however, during a media briefing on Monday, countered these allegations, affirming its commitment to transparency in all its processes.
Criticism of the Bank of Ghana escalated when it justified relocating from its current central business district location in Accra to Ridge, citing earthquake threat. The bank cited structural tests indicating that its current building wasn't suitable. The minority in parliament had pressed the central bank to divulge details about the land acquisition for the new headquarters, consultants, project managers, financing arrangement, project cost, scope of work, bill of quantities, and start and completion dates. The minority also demanded the resignation of the bank's governor and deputies and garnered support from financial sector players and leaders like the Domaine, who called for the project suspension.
Those who have led this reckless and criminal conduct unleashed economic hardship and financial distress on the suffering people of Ghana must be held accountable on this particular action. In fact, impunity of the highest order can no longer be tolerated by the suffering masses of Ghanaians. We must not allow this dangerous precedent to be set for future leaders. In this regard, we in the NDC call for the resignation, immediate resignation of the Governor of the Central Bank and his deputies within 21 days from today. We are resolved to embark on popular action to occupy the Central Bank and drive out the team of inept, callous, and criminally minded mismanagers of our finances to save the Bank of Ghana.
However, the Bank of Ghana held a dedicated press conference to address the ongoing controversies. Governor Dr. Ernest Addison, recognizing concerns, provided context to the project, terming it as a national security matter.
I will provide you with a brief history of how this has evolved over the years. The Bank of Ghana, as far back as the 1990s, began the search for a suitable and secured land for a head office. In 2012, the bank was allocated an unnumbered 5.19-acre land at Accra Central by the Lands Commission, which also had issues. The bank did not have access to the land, since the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Regional Integration refused to give the bank vacant possession on the grounds that they had never agreed to give up ownership of the land. The bank continued to search for suitable land for its head office throughout the period from 2013 to 2016. More recently, in 2018, the bank approached the State Insurance Corporation to acquire its vacant land at Ridge, near the Ridge Hospital. The government issued an executive instrument to allow the Bank of Ghana acquire that land, and SIC was duly compensated.
While assuring compliance with international standards befitting a central bank, Governor Dr. Ernest Addison revealed that the new headquarters would house critical facilities like data centers, currency processing units, vault, and sensitive installations. Although he did not specify the exact cost, he mentioned that funding had been secured from the bank's profit since 2019. He emphasized that the decision to construct the new head office predates the significant impairment the bank recorded in 2022.
The decision to commence construction was taken as far back as 2019, when the bank generated profits. Appropriations for the head office were made each year from profits made in 2019, 2020, and 2021. The project has therefore been going on for over 3 years. The DDEP only took place in January 2023. If we were to be taking the decision today, building a legacy head office would not have been a priority. However, this is a project that has been running for 3 years and about 50% complete. The bank is fully aware of its responsibilities to ensure that the costs do not escalate beyond reasonable levels, and that many of the original design features, including the data center, the currency processing center, ICT equipment, and specialized security features will have been deferred, and only grey boxes provided for future use to manage costs.
In response, the minority in Parliament has planned a demonstration against the bank's governor and deputies seeking transparency and adherence to the budget. The bank authorities assured that they will maintain transparency and stay within the budget.
The bank then began to plan the building of its new head office, taking into consideration the need to ensure that the building meets all the requirements of a modern central bank of international standards, similar to central bank head office buildings in Abuja and Dakar, and includes provision for data centers, currency processing centers, vaults, and other sensitive installations. It is not just a simple, ordinary building. Let me re-emphasize that the bank followed all the necessary public procurement processes in this endeavor. No procurement laws were broken.
Let's bring you some other stories. And the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has directed the Lands Commission to eliminate the presence of intermediaries, commonly known as Goro Boys, from its operations. Now, this directive follows a 2021 study by the United Nations Office of Drugs and Crime, UNODC, which identified the Lands Commission as one of Ghana's most corrupt institutions. We have more in this report.
In 2021, the Lands Commission secured the unfortunate fourth position in terms of corruption with an average bribe size of 1,699 cedis. Topping the list were the Police Service, GRA Customs Officers, and the Ghana Immigration Service. These rankings have ignited calls for comprehensive reforms within these institutions. Notably, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs took decisive action by dismissing Passport Office officers suspected of participating in extortion activities due to extended tenures. In light of these developments, the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources has unveiled its strategy to combat corruption within the Lands Commission. A focused initiative has been assigned to the Commission centered on eliminating intermediaries, commonly referred to as Guru Boys.
Yes, we were all aware of the Guru Boys and the Guru people within the system. So we as a ministry, we are trying to find out, and we are taxing the Lands Commission to get rid of those Guru Boys and the Guru people in the system. Only with the connivance and assistance of the personnel within the system of Lands Commission. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs has taken the initiative, the bold initiative, to start working to get rid of the recalcitrant and the bad nuts within their system. Likewise, we at the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, we are also going to follow the example, and we will also be up and doing to ensure that we also rid the system of our bad nuts.
Surveyor James Dapson, the Executive Secretary of the Lands Commission, responded to these concerns by highlighting the Commission's proactive approach. Among the measures in motion, the Commission is prioritizing the digitalization of its operations as a fundamental strategy to root out corruption.
This is a major challenge on our hands. I am not. It is, let me say, an exception for a document that passes through the hands of a Guru Boy to go ahead of documents that go through the system. Some of them even take the money and then they vanish. The document will be lying there. We are looking for the person to go for an inspection and nobody shows up. We have identified that once we embark on this technological drive, we will reduce the human interface. Even our own staff will have very little to do with the general public. Everything will be done in the back office. You go to the client service access unit, submit your document, they vet it right there, and then everything is done in the back office. This is in fact, indeed, this is what we are doing currently. Everybody has to go through the CSAU, and then we'll deal with it.
Furthermore, the Commission has raised concerns about the substandard working conditions faced by its employees, particularly its legal team, who are expected to represent the Commission in court cases.
The cases that we have, it's not possible for the Commission to be in court anytime the cases are called. Our staff, our legal staff, very small. It is the only aspect of our work that when we engage lawyers, sometimes they don't even turn up. They don't turn up. They look at the conditions of service and say, no, probably it's better to do only bail work at the court, at the district court. So we don't have enough lawyers. That's as frank as it can be. Those who are with us are overburdened. So we are working to see how we can improve not only the remuneration in terms of conditions of the lawyers alone, but over all the staff of the Commission. Our working conditions are not very good in that regard.
Now, the National Food Buffer Stock Company says it is making plans to settle the outstanding 15% arrears for supplies made for 2022. This comes at a time the company has been struggling to settle debts owed over 200 food suppliers. The suppliers at a point picketed at the premises of the Buffer Stock Company in protest of the situation. Briefing journalists at the Meet the Press engagement, the Chief Executive Officer for the National Food Buffer Stock Company, Abdul Wahab Hanan, said about 2.6 million cedis has so far been paid to suppliers between 2017 and 2022.
The press engagement for the National Food Buffer Stock Company aimed to provide an avenue for addressing the public regarding the myriad of challenges affecting its operations. A significant concern is the outstanding payments to the over 200 food suppliers, resulting in arrears. The company acknowledges a debt of approximately 3 million Ghana cedis to contractors for the academic years of 2022 and 2023.
These are payments of businesses done between us and our licensed suppliers. And it originates from the year 2017 to 2022. So out of that, how much we owe suppliers is what is currently happening in the system that has even resulted in the picketing. But right after the picketing, government has released money for the arrears of the suppliers, and we have paid them 85% of how much we owe them for the year 2022. We don't owe suppliers any year, any arrears, but 2022, and then what is happening currently, the suppliers that is ongoing now in 2023. So 2.7 billion has been paid so far, and what is left now to pay suppliers is less than 30 million Ghana cedis.
In addition, the CEO of the buffer stock highlighted the organization's commitment to ensuring food security. To this end, an additional 60 warehouses have been put in operation.
Of course, construction sometimes comes with some challenges and delays, and you may not be able to get it how you want it. Thank God, out of the 80, 60 is ready for use, and the rest of the 20 is in various stages of construction, some completion. Some are from 90%, some are even completed. Or what is left is the equipment to be installed, because it comes with dryers and then a generator, standby generator. So without some of these things, you cannot commission the warehouses. But of course, the Honorable Minister for Food and Agriculture has taken it upon himself. He has gotten the report. He is inviting the various contractors and then to find out what is causing the delay so that he can assist them for them to complete it. And apart from that, we need more than 80,000 with the kind of vision we have and what we want to do for the good people of Ghana. We need 80,000 metric tons is woefully inadequate. We are talking about millions. We have not just warehouses, but silos for long-term storage.
It was also announced that the disbursement of the second installment of funds is scheduled to commence on Tuesday, August 22.
We won the 2020 elections, and the new board of directors was sworn in. The first task was to, come up with a 5-year strategic plan. We went on a retreat with various stakeholders from Parliament and from other, Agri Select Committee and Cocoa Affairs. The strategic plan is in the stage of, fine-tuning. And of course, we also want to launch it together with PFG Phase 2. Like I said, it is in this stage of fine-tuning. We are almost done with it. The consultants have done their work. We have distributed copies to stakeholders for them to look at it and then have their final inputs. Then we can finalize it and then launch it.
Now, investigators are currently seeking to utilize data provided by telecom companies to access phone records, aiming to establish the involvement of 3 military officers and 3 civilians in an alleged attempt to rob a bullion van belonging to mining company. On Monday, the court adjourned the hearing on the substantive matter to 26 September 2023 to allow the police ample time to establish the complicity or otherwise of the suspects. Now, Citi News Middle Belt Bureau Chief Edward Opon-Marvel has more.
The 6 accused persons, comprising of 3 military officers and 3 civilians, are facing charges of conspiracy to commit robbery and attempted robbery. As outlined in the charge sheet, the driver of Golden Team Mining Resources Limited, a mining company, is accused of conspiring with 5 others to carry out a robbery on a bullion van that transports gold from the company's location in Tridium in the Havo region to Kumasi. Upon receiving information about the planned robbery, the mining company promptly notified both the Ashanti Regional Police Intelligence Department and the Havo Regional Police Command. Subsequently, the driver was apprehended, and further investigations led to the arrest of the other 5 individuals suspected to be part of the operation. So far, all accused persons have been granted bail and have met the required conditions. During the court session at the Tasmanso Circuit Court in Kumasi on Monday, the investigators informed the court of an ex parte motion they have filed. This motion is intended to grant them access to the phone records of the suspects, aiding in establishing their involvement in the case. The ex parte motion is scheduled for hearing on Tuesday, August 22. Meanwhile, the main case has been adjourned to September 26, 2023, allowing for further investigations into the matter. Following the court proceedings, Ivan Samankwa, the legal representative for Golden Tea Mining Resources Limited, spoke to journalists.
The prosecution indicated to the court that they have filed motion ex parte to the telcos, asking them to make some provisions or disclosures involving the telephone numbers of the accused persons. So the court adjourned the said motion to 22nd August, that is tomorrow. But the substantive matter, that is a criminal matter involving the real true Francis Katamani and the 5 others, has been adjourned to 26th of September 2023. Which the accused person, the suspected accused person, used in trying to execute the agenda. So if for the police to be able to, or the prosecution to be able to establish the veracity or otherwise of their charges, they have to go through those things. And as a lawyer for the complainant, or lawyer who is watching brief for the complainant, we are happy the step the police are taking, the prosecution is taking, in arriving at the veracity or otherwise of the complaints against the accused persons. We believe that at the end of the day, the case will be able to establish the truth in this whole matter.
And your clients are insisting that, based on what they know, that there was some kind of conspiracy to rob the billiard van. Is that the case?
Of course, we wouldn't have made that complaint to the police in the first place, and the police, per their intelligence, were able to also unravel some leads to it. We wouldn't be able to disclose it to the media at this point.
Investigators are seeking to rely on information from the telecom companies to establish the kind of conversation that ensued between the suspects. And as such, the court has granted them enough time to conduct further investigations into the issue, and the matter has been adjourned to 26 September 20. Kumasi.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian Kailoko. We're coming to you live from our studios here in the Greater Accra region. When we come back, Chief of Staff Fremal Sel Parry cleared to vote in NPP Special Delegates Congress amid eligibility debates. To stay with us, we'll be right back with our story and many others.
It is important for husbands to support their wives who test positive for HIV when they are pregnant. The assistance I got from my husband encouraged me to follow all the guidelines given by the nurses and doctors. I gave birth to an HIV-negative child. I'm therefore appealing to all men to test for HIV and encourage their wives to do same. All pregnant women should test for HIV and follow instructions given by their healthcare providers. This will help them to have HIV-free babies. Men and women, let's work together to have an HIV-free generation.
Our children must be free to shine.
This is the neighborhood I'm having my twins.
The very reason why I took it for us. See, the price is very good and it's spacious to contain all of us.
Alphabet City. Now I'm a landlord. I don't pay rent. And my Airbnb business is booming.
To me, bank and I'm not say Alphabet City. The pension pay me 20%. The payment plan, I want to share my just say, very smooth.
This is a healthy place to raise our families and creating peace. Come on, be my neighbor.
Alphabet City, the ABC of Home Sweet Home.
Alphabet City is a classy and peaceful gated community in Sakumono. We have 24/7 top-notch security and high-quality access roads. We have 3 bedrooms and 2 washrooms, 3 bedrooms and 3 washrooms with boys' quarters. We have 3 bedrooms and 4 washrooms. We have 2 bedrooms and 2 washrooms, all with beautiful kitchens and kitchenettes. Call Alphabet City on 0240-111119 or 050-44-99999. Alphabet City, the ABC of Home Sweet Home.
You're welcome back to the City Newsroom. Let's bring you some politics. The Presidential Elections Committee of the MPP has confirmed the eligibility of the Chief of Staff, Freema Parry, to vote in the party's Special Delegates Congress on August 26th. Now, Alan Chairman's campaign raised concerns over the Chief of Staff's qualification as a delegate. However, the party says Freema Parry qualifies to vote, citing a role as patron of the Executive Committee. This report has more.
The New Patriotic Party is set to conduct its Special Delegates Congress on August 26. The Special Congress is intended to whittle down to 10 flag-bearer hopefuls contesting to lead the party into the 2024 general elections. As part of the processes towards the August 26 polls, the party made available the electoral register containing approximately 900 delegates list to the candidates. Following this, the Alan Chairman campaign, in a letter to the party, expressed reservations about the eligibility of Chief of Staff Freema Parry as a delegate. But at a press conference in Accra, the Presidential Elections Committee confirmed the qualification of the Chief of Staff.
To uphold the highest standards of transparency, we distributed the Provisional Voters Register to aspirants and encouraged a comprehensive review to identify and report any discrepancies. Subsequently, we received valuable feedback from the aspirants regarding instances of omission. We are pleased to confirm that all such concerns have been diligently rectified. An issue was raised about the status of Honorable Akosua Freema Parry. Per the records of the party, Honorable Akosua Freema Parry is a member of the National Executive Committee by the virtue of her being a representative of the patrons at the National Executive Committee. And this gives her the right to vote.
The NPP has also assured its preparedness to conduct the Special Delegates Congress.
Voting will take place from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Delegates may be required to present their membership ID, that is the party membership ID, National Voters ID, the Ghana card for identification purposes. Ballots shall be counted and the results announced immediately after the polls in the full glare of the public. Collation of results. Results will be collated at the Electoral Commission headquarters in Accra with the participation of aspirants and all their representatives. And the Electoral Commission will officially declare the results at the MPP headquarters, Asalam Down.
The issue of vote buying has bedeviled Ghana's democracy in recent years. There's been reports of voters taking photographs of ballot papers as evidence to collect money from candidates. To prevent this, the NPP has
voting centers and rules. Voting centers are designated according to delegate categories. Voting rules emphasize free, fair, and confidential balloting. Actions such as multiple voting, trading of votes, coercing, obstruction, and the display of marked ballots are prohibited at all voting centers. Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission shall supervise and conduct the elections. The Electoral Commission is entrusted with ensuring full compliance and implementation of the operational guidelines for the Special Electoral College elections.
Over 900 delegates are expected to vote in centers across the top 5 aspirants will be selected to contest the National Delegates Congress in November, where a flag bearer will be chosen for the New Patriotic Party.
Meanwhile, lawmaker Frank Anodompre has denied ordering the destruction of billboards and artworks belonging to one of the flag-bearer aspirants of the New Patriotic Party, Kennedy Ejapon, in his area. Some supporters of Kennedy Ejapon accused Mr. Anodompre of defacing billboards and artworks of their contestant ahead of the party's Special Delegates Congress. The lawmaker says although he does not believe in the presidential aspirations of Kennedy Ejapon, he will not undertake such an act. He made it known in an address to journalists in Parliament.
The New Patriotic Party, NPP, is set to conduct its Special Delegates Conference on August 26, 2023. The exercise aims at trimming the number of presidential aspirants from 10 to 5 ahead of the November Congress to elect a presidential candidate for the 2024 elections. Ahead of the Congress, some supporters of one of the flag-bearer aspirants, Kennedy Ejapon in Sawam in the Eastern region, have accused the Member of Parliament for the area, Frank Anodompre, of in Parliament denied the assertion.
I feel very slighted. I feel a lot of pain, but he's not an enemy, somebody I respect. I don't even do this to my political opponent, the NDC, who have their artwork all over in Insaom. I don't go about pulling down their artwork. How much more will I go out to pull down an artwork of my colleague Member of Parliament? It's quite strange. And this is not the first time they are hurling these allegations at me. I want to use your medium to appeal to our colleague. I don't have anything personal against him. In this contest, people have taken positions, and I'm a human being. I have also taken a position. I feel proud about the person I support. And if I have to suffer these allegations and persecution because of my support for the Vice President, I find it very strange. I plead with them that they should understand that this is an internal election. And next time something happens, the least they can do is to investigate. You don't come out and put allegation against somebody, and especially when you find out that what you said was not true. The decent thing you should do is to come out and put out the fact. I will not support him. I don't believe in him. I believe in the one I support. And they should, just as they support Ken Ohene-Japon, they should respect my decision to support somebody else. And let it be as it is.
He tipped the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, to secure massive endorsement in the party's Special Delegates Congress, slated for Saturday.
Saturday is looking good. It's looking very good. Unless you are pushing me. It is looking very, very good. There's not going to be any surprise. It's an emphatic endorsement for the most popular candidate. And you know, it's the Vice President. He's going to win hands down. There's no doubt about it.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom. My name is Vivian Kai Loco. When we come back, Ghana Football Association presidential candidates Keta Kweku and George Afriyie undergo vetting ahead of September 27 elections in Tamale. To stay with us, we'll be right back.
Here, TV, fridge, freezer, air condition, gas cooker, washing machine, smartphone, sound system, water dispenser, microwave, blender, rice cooker, kettle, and iron. Seven Hisense smartphone is yeah, Titi so more than a Hisense factory direct promo. It's in your madada noa, Emma light bill kuno. Fasi baby, never jefofo. Everything 28 August, I copy him 2nd September. Be way showroom no. Saturday at no. Sana yet on. Wait dear, ya tete swap broso. Who? Hisense. Everyday prices for everyday people.
Finally, anyone can become a household.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You go Flip, a real estate gaming platform that allows you to play and stand a chance of winning a house or cash or consolidated prizes, such as savings towards a house. Simple and easy to play. Visit www.ugoflip.com. Buy a ticket to enter the game. Wait for the end of the game to enjoy the win. Anyone can win. Flip it or own it. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Play responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming can be addictive.
You're welcome back to the Citi Newsroom. Thank you so much for staying. Now, the Ghana Football Association President Keta Kweku and his challenger George Afriyie faced the vetting committee on Monday ahead of the elections on September 27 in Tamale. The two football administrators are seeking the mandate of delegates to lead Ghana football for the next 4 years. Citi News' Evans Ofochumanso was at the Alisa Hotel where the vetting happened and filed this report.
Football administrators faced the Ghana Football Association's vetting committee on day one. Presidential aspirants Ketso Kreku and George Efrie heralded the list of personalities at the Alisa Hotel for the vetting. After a successful interaction, they both expressed confidence in getting the approval of the committee to be on the ballot paper on September 27.
There were a lot of questions for my good self, but basically it's about the statutory provisions on your forms, whether indeed you signed the forms, whether you have met the statutory requirements on the form, i.e. The member who proposed you and the 5 required members who are needed to support your application. And then obviously you have to go through the integrity session, whether you've made your tax returns. So if you don't pay your tax, you are in trouble. And whether you've not made any false declaration whatsoever in relation to this opening. So I think that it was smooth. I'm very confident that given what I shared, I'll go through successfully, and then we'll be ready for the elections. Like I say all the time, football will always speak, and today football has spoken, and football will speak on the 27th of September.
In spite of some of the things that I've heard before going into this vetting, I'm sure it was already out there that you'll be disqualified. I mean, if you are the media, you've heard it several times. But I believe in them. The questions were normal questions. It was about football. And as you are already aware, this is not the first time I've gone through vetting. This is my 5th vetting. I've done vetting when I first contested for the executive committee position. I've done vetting from 2005 all the way down. And in 2019, I went through vetting. So vetting is normal, and it was an engaging. I mean, these were questions related to football. And to me, I answer the questions to the best of my abilities. And I think that I've given them an insight, a very insightful conversation. It's been a very insightful conversation. And the rest is left to them to do their job.
11 other football administrators, including former Black Stars head coach James Kwesi Appiah, Eloyd Amande, Raphael Jambra, Amadou Moro Brahima, Onyina Asenso, Dr. Tony Oben, Kingsley Osei Bonsu, Nana Odro Safo, Frederick Champon, Edmond Aka, and Dr. Randy Abe, who are vying for 5 Premier League positions on the GFA Executive Council, all face the vetting committee on day one. 5 other aspirants, including the GFA Vice President Mark Addo, Samuel Enim Addo, Eugene Ni Amon, Gideon Fosu, and Alex Ababio, are all eyeing to pick 3 slots allocated for Division 1 football representatives on the Executive Council. Mark Addo also spoke to Citi News after his vetting.
At the end of the day, it's a contest that it's a friendly contest in the sense all these people mean well. Everybody in their effort wants to help Ghana football. So for me, I see it as positive, and I pray everybody meet their expectations.
The only female aspirant, Gifty Owari Mensah, also faced the vetting committee on day one. The bankroller of Berry Ladies is unopposed in her quest to be on the Executive Council as the women's football representative.
Obviously, there is a relief. Every election is difficult, so even when you are going unopposed, it's still difficult because without seeing them and they passing me, it means that I'm still not a candidate yet. So after they are grateful enough and they pass me, then it means that I'm a candidate, and then the only candidate, which means I'm an ESCO member automatic. I'm waiting to be sworn in. So that's what I think. But it's exciting to see. But I believe maybe next year we can get more women representation, more women to come on board. Sure.
Day 2 of the vetting is reserved for 19 football administrators vying to lead the 10 regional football associations. So it's been a long day here at the Alisa Hotel as the various aspirants face the vetting committee of the Ghana Football Association on their plans to be on that ballot paper on September 27. From George Efrie to Keto Kraku, James Kwesi Appiah, they've all been here to face the committee. Reporting for Citi News, I am Evans Ofochu Manso.
Away from sports, let's do a bit of education. The Minister of Education, Dr. Yawse Duchum, has announced upcoming substantial reforms in senior high school education. These reforms, according to him, encompass the introduction of cutting-edge courses such as aerospace and aviation. Dr. Yawse Duchum highlights that beginning next year, general science students, for instance, will no longer need to study integrated science and core maths, as their elective subjects will comprehensively cover these areas. Citi News' Bureau Chief for the Middle Belt, Edward Opon-Mafo, has more.
At the senior high school level, students have recently displayed glimpses of their creativity through various inventions. However, they often struggle to develop and nurture their talents due to a lack of available educational support systems. The undeniable creativity of these students is exemplified by the accomplishments of the engineering club at the Fiakobiampem Girls Senior High School in the Ashanti region. This club has successfully designed and flown a model airplane, in addition to creating a functional rescue watercraft. In response to these remarkable achievements, Dr. Yawse Duchum, the Education Minister, has announced plans for significant reforms in senior high school education. According to Dr. Duchum, the reforms include major changes in subjects studied at the senior high school level, all aimed at fostering students' creativity and equipping Ghanaian students with valuable skills.
When you see students who finish their basic pathway and they can still do engineering, do anything they want to do, but that is what they specialize in high school. And then since they will do chemistry and physics without biology, and they are not doing integrated science, they will do introduction to introductory biology, because they didn't do the biology component in the intersected science, so that they don't lose out anything and they become well-rounded. So we are creating opportunity for Ghanaian students to become more skillful and to do more. Those who are doing general science, for example, beginning next year, when we take away the integrated science and we take away the core maths, they can do French for 3 years. They will also do robotics and coding. And they are still doing their general science, biology, chemistry. Yeah.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom. Up next is CNR Business with Nashi Kasiza.
Hello and welcome to CNR Business. My name is Nashi Kasiza. Now, the Bank of Ghana has dismissed reports that it printed new currency to finance the government in 2022. It said the budgetary financing to the government last year was from its own reserves. Here's more.
The central bank has been accused of printing more currency to fund government without approval. This alleged illegality, according to critics, is to blame for the country's rising inflation. But at a press conference at the boardroom of the Bank of Ghana, Governor Dr. Ernest Addison refuted these assertions, maintaining that the financing of government for the year 2022 was through the central bank's own buffers.
So we have the money. We don't have to go and print it. So there are two separate issues. I mean, the government spending that leads to debits the government account. If there is any need to make a payment, we have the money here on the basis of, monies that the commercial banks have brought to us as reserve requirements, for example. You don't need to go and print money before you can lend money to government. They're completely unrelated. But I know it's just mischief when people try to say, they printed money. It's more sensational.
Meanwhile, the central bank has admitted to challenges to tame inflation. This, the governor was concerned about.
Inflation has not performed as we had originally anticipated. When we started the year, we were all very happy with the disinflation that we saw in the first quarter of the year. And we expected that to continue in the second half. Unfortunately, we have not seen that pace of disinflation continue in the second half. So it seems to us that what we are seeing reflects somewhat the structural issues associated with food, whether it's transportation costs associated with bringing food from the hinterlands to the markets. Those are the issues that...
Now, the management of defunct gold dealership company Men's Gold Ghana Limited has reversed the decision to charge customers a 650 Ghana cedis validation fee to facilitate payment of their locked-up investments. The decision by the company was met with widespread criticism from the public and resistance from customers. Here's more. After failing to pay his customers their locked-up investments for the past 4 years, the CEO of the defunct gold dealership company Men's Gold Ghana, Nanapia Mensah, popularly known as Nam1, recently announced that his outfit is now in a position to pay them their monies. But first, the customers, most of whom have been facing dire economic challenges, must cough up an amount of 650 Ghana cedis to enable them get validation that indeed they are being owed by Men's Gold. However, the news was not only met with massive backlash from the public, but customers also blatantly refused to pay, accusing the CEO of further exploitation. A few days after this announcement, however, Nanapia Mensah has reversed the decision. Fred Forson speaks for the aggrieved customers of Men's Gold, and he is entreating all customers not to fall for any more fraudulent moves by the Men's Gold boss.
We have said that he hasn't done any verification. He's still going around singing the same tune. And we know this time, because we are hard on him, we are facing him squarely. That's why he's in that confused state. So customers should still ignore. It's a latest. I think it may be the last but one trick from what he's have to do. It may be the last but one trick, but they should still ignore it.
Fred Forson also called on the security agencies to apprehend Nam1.
We still want him to be arrested and interrogated. This is unacceptable. You are already in court. Your company is defunct. Your bank account has been frozen. Your assets have been frozen. You don't even have the moral right, the legal right, because you are before the court. In the petition society, we have copied the Attorney General, submitted it. We copied the YOCO. We want them to put their heads together. If there is no directive or they don't have to leave the court to do what they are doing, then it should even amount to contempt of the court.
Now, the nation's biggest trade fair, dubbed This is Ghana exhibition, is set to make a grand return on August 26 to 27, 2023 at the forecourts of the Accra Metropolitan Assembly. Organized by Citi TV and Citi FM, this year's edition promises to provide a strategic marketing platform for small and medium-scale enterprises, startups, homegrown businesses, and indigenous corporate bodies. There's more in the following report by Citi News' Fauzu Masawudu and read to you by Nana Tufo-Barton.
The This is Ghana exhibition has, since its inception, created an unparalleled marketing avenue for diverse local businesses, and this year's edition would be no different. It promises to be the biggest trade weekend, and exhibitors like Michael Adu and Reynolds Nana Aye of the Silk International Travel and Tour have been expressing their excitement of taking part in the event.
Actually watched the last one last year.
Okay.
I saw one, how interesting it is. I also thought that it would be a very good platform for product positioning, and then also for marketing as well. So looking at some of the feedbacks I saw both online and on TV, we just discussed in-house and we said that this is something we think we should be part of.
This is Ghana exhibition is powered by Citi TV and Citi FM and sponsored by MTN, Nalo Solutions, Pan-African Savings and Loans, European Union, and SNV Ghana.
And that's it for Seattle Business. My name is Nashika Caesar.
That's it for today's edition of the Citi Newsroom. But before we go, let's give you a recap of our big stories for tonight. Bank of Ghana denies exaggeration of new head office cost amid procurement allegations. Ministry of Lands orders removal of Goro boys following UN corruption study. Investigators turned to telecom data in alleged brilliant van robbery case involving military officers and civilians. Chief of Staff Rema Osel-Parry cleared to vote in NPP Special Delegates Congress amid eligibility debate. Log on to our website, citinewsroom.com. We have more stories over there. Subscribe to CityTube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV. My name is Vivian Kai Iloko. Many thanks for joining. I'll see you again.
Get ready to witness a remarkable fair to showcase the rich diversity, talent, innovation, and mastery of made in Ghana products and services with the This is Ghana Exhibition 2023. Citi TV and Citi FM will allow you to immerse yourself in a vibrant showcase of authentic Ghanaian products and services in the biggest trade fair and exhibition for local SMEs, startups, research and manufacturing industries, homegrown businesses, and indigenous corporate bodies Ghana has ever seen. We shall promote, support, and patronize various Ghanaian products, solutions, and services that are redefining the views on indigenous products and their packaging across all sectors. Join us at the Accra Metropolitan Assembly on the 26th and the 27th of August 2023 at 10 a.m. through till 5 p.m. each day. Call us now on 0205-973-973 for inquiries on how to participate. The This is Ghana exhibition is powered by Citi TV and Citi FM and proudly sponsored by
MTN Momo, Nalo Solutions, Pan-African Savings and Loans, and SMV Ghana.
We are supporting This is Ghana because this creates a space for the Ghanaian entrepreneurs to showcase their products. And some of those products and some of those entrepreneurs are directly supported by the European Union. Okay, I'm standing here with a farmer in the northern region who is producing honey as additional activity, additional revenue. This is part of a program that we are running in the northern part of Ghana. But we have other stands where the